I've spent too much this past month and I feel like I need to just put myself on a book buying ban. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Maxine and if you're new here, welcome. Here we talk about books and other stuff, but mostly just books, to be honest. So this is a book haul and I think this is gonna be my last book haul for this year, fingers crossed. It's just because I have been buying non-stop and I need to put myself on a book buying ban just so I can save, because it's just, the economy right now is crazy. But yeah, I'll just show you how many books I've actually bought. About 11 books. It's not that big, but then again, like, it keeps going, it'll just build up. So yeah, I just need to put myself on a book buying ban. But yeah, let's start with one of my favorite books that I bought is Elektra. Just look at that. Elektra by Jennifer Saint. I believe I have Ariadne, as you can see over there. I don't know if you can actually see it. Yeah, it just looks so pretty. And again, I've told you this before, I usually buy books based on, like, I judge the cover. I judge the cover of books, and if it looks like this, I mean, come on, you just have to buy it. So it covers the story of Clytemnestra, Cassandra, and Elektra. And if you guys aren't aware, but I'm sure all of you, everyone is aware about the story of Troy. This book covers the women who are kind of the surrounding characters of the events of Troy. So we start with the story of Clytemnestra, which is Helen's sister, who is the wife of Agamemnon. Then we move to Cassandra's story, which is she is a princess of Troy who ends up marrying Agamemnon, and she has a prophecy of once she marries Agamemnon, Agamemnon will die once he goes home. And the second is Elektra. So Elektra, I'm not really, personally, I don't recall what her story is, so it's gonna be really interesting reading her story. But it's the youngest daughter of Clytemnestra. Elektra is horrified by the bloodletting of her kin. But yeah, this is very interesting. It's just, I feel like the women of Troy, the women surrounding the story of Troy, needs to have their story told, because back in the age of Troy, they don't really have their own power. So reading all of that, like Ariadne, I know she's not part of Troy, but Ariadne, Elektra, Circe, and you know, the women of Troy and The Silence of the Girls, those books I really like, because just these women do not have their own agency just because of the societal norm at that time. But I feel like having their story told is a way for us to kind of appreciate them and their story and how their contributions actually affected the decisions that happened during ancient times. But yeah, I'm excited. Second book I bought is, well, this is funny. It's because initially this was supposed to be a birthday gift for a family member. But then I realized, like, during the night, like, this, should I actually give this book to someone who's celebrating her birthday? And I decided, like, you know, never mind. I'll keep this book because I'm greedy, but also because it's beautiful. Look at that sprayed edges. Also because it's quite dark. This book is Notes of an Execution by, I can't pronounce that, Dania Kafka. There you go. So this, I believe, it's either I read about the book on the back or I tell you what I know about it. And what I know about it is it's about, I think, a man who's about to be sentenced to the death penalty. Correct me if I'm wrong. The story is about all the victims that he's basically killed. You know how when you see true crime films and true crime videos, it's mostly about the serial killer, and then just the victims are based on numbers. Like, but sometimes I think, like, we need to honor who were those victims, because those victims were people too. I think this person who's on death row, this criminal, he's kind of obsessed with pockets of universes, like, oh, what would be that woman's life if I have not murdered them, kind of. It's quite dark and I'm really interested in reading it. And yeah, look at that sprayed edges, quite nice. I actually really appreciate the British edition. Like, look at that, it's so cute with the fox. Next book I bought is Carmilla. And you gotta admit, that is a nice cover. Bought this yesterday, and basically it's, I think this predates Dracula, so it's about a vampire. I want to know what inspired Dracula. I haven't read Dracula personally, but like, just to have just one vampire-ish book will complete my day, really, because look at that cover. In an isolated castle deep in the Austrian forest, Laura leads a solitary life with only her ailing father for company. Until one moonlight night, a horse-drawn carriage crashes into view, carrying an unexpected guest, the beautiful Carmilla. And I believe like you slowly discover what she is, and she's a vampire. But yeah, this is exciting. The fourth book I bought is Sorcery of Thorns, and everybody has been raving about this on TikTok, on YouTube, and I want to know if I love it. To be honest, it's always been compared to Howl's Moving Castle, and I'm such a huge fan of Howl's Moving Castle, the book and the movie, so hopefully this will live up to the expectations. But look at that cover, it's quite nice. So I've read the other book from Margaret Rogerson, is Enchantment of Ravens, and I have thoroughly enjoyed that, so hopefully I'll enjoy this one as well. The next book I bought is To Kill a Kingdom by Alexandra Christo. I'm gonna be embarking on a series this month, and it's just because like it's quite a big series, and I'm gonna discuss it later, but since then I don't want to add another series on top of it, if you know what I mean. Like, I want to read more standalones in between the series that I'm reading. It's just because it can confuse me if I read too many series in 1 month or in once. It's just, I need to have a little bit of like a amuse-bouche, if you know what I mean. So having standalones in between series can help kind of keep the wheels turning in my head without actually adding more to it. And so To Kill a Kingdom, it's about, so basically this is about like, I feel it's like enemies to lovers. So we have Princess Lyra and we have Princess Lyra and Prince Alien, Princess Alien, and basically I think they're gonna, so Prince Alien is part of a family of siren killers, and basically Princess Lyra is a siren royalty. So it's just, we'll find out how they'll communicate with each other, or how they'll interact with each other. But I think this is an enemies to lovers trope, and I do love me some enemies to lovers, as long as, I doubt it's gonna be slow burn because it is a one-off kind of book. But yeah, I'm excited to read this. I'm sorry I'm not explaining this well, but yeah, it's hard for me to explain a book if I haven't read it yet. But what attracted me to this is the fact that it is enemies to lovers. And the next book I bought is The Wicked Deep by Shea Ernshaw. Sorry, I butchered that name. But basically it's about a village, and 2 centuries ago, before that predates the story, is the townsfolk basically drowned 3 sisters in a lake. I'm not sure if it's a lake or a river. Well, it's the waters that are surrounding the town. I'm not sure. Basically, those 3 sisters were accused of being a witch, and they drowned them. Sentenced them, then drowned them. And what happens is, every year after that, the witches or the 3 sisters would come out of the body of water, the lake, and steal a boy and drag him back down to the lake. And it's kind of their way of, you know, seeking revenge. So the book, we follow Penny, and she is aware of this situation. She's lived all her life in this town, and she's aware of the curse. But somehow one day, during the time where the sisters will come out and steal a young man, a boy from the village, a boy named Bo Carter arrives unaware of the danger. So I think this is how they try to solve this mystery, solve this curse, or try to survive it, and that's what I'm interested in. And it sounds creepy. I get creeped out quite easily, and this sounds entertaining for me, so I'm excited to read this as well. Next book I bought is These Hollow Vows. So this is by Lexi Ryan, and I think I remember watching one of Carrie Reed's videos about These Hollow Vows, and it just, she was so frustrated about this series, but I kind of want to read it. It's because the way she was just explaining it sounded interesting to me. I completely forgot the story of the book. Like, I haven't read it yet, but I completely forgot the synopsis, so I'll just read the back. Bree would do anything before making a deal with the Fae. Death is better than their vicious schemes, but when her sister is taken by a sadistic king of the Unsullied, Bree breaks her own rules and agrees to steal 3 magical relics from the rival court in exchange for her sister's return. So yeah, I think some people say this kind of reminds them of ACOTAR, and I personally haven't read ACOTAR yet. I'm planning to, but not yet, because it's such a It's also a large series. I don't know if I can actually take it this month, but yeah, these Hollow Vows, I'm really interested in reading this. I know there's a second book out, but you know what, but I'm very excited for this book. The next book that I bought is The Silmarillion. This isn't my first copy. I remember buying a copy back during pandemic. I had like a 1993 version of it. It was quite nice, quite retro. I gave it to my cousin because it was the pandemic. I was stuck in a room at my uncle's house, and it was too much mentally for me to embark on the Silmarillion. And I did try. I managed reading up to chapter 3, and then I got so overwhelmed. It's like reading a whole different language in which it feels like that. Honestly, it's Tolkien. But yeah, my goal for this month is to be able to read the Silmarillion. But yeah, this is one of the books that I bought just because I didn't buy any other fancy copy, because I am going to annotate the F out of this. And the next book I bought, Guild. It is by Raven Kennedy, and I believe this story is like a retelling of King Midas, and that's all I know. And you know what? I don't want to know anymore, because sometimes reading the back of the books kind of spoils you in a way. So I find that not being oblivious to whatever spiel that is on the back is quite nice to start a book, because it's like watching a trailer for a movie. If you watch a trailer, you basically just saw the movie sometimes. So yeah, I'm excited to read about this, but I'm not gonna read this month. But yeah, that book is so cute. And yeah, I'm excited to read this sometime next month or maybe next year. I don't know. I got 2 more books, and this is the series that I'm gonna start reading this month, and I've already started it. So that is Assassin's Apprentice and Royal Assassin. And I think I'm ready. I think I'm ready to embark on a large fantasy series, and Robin Hobb is, I think, my best entry point. I did try to read Lord of the Rings, but it was just too big brain for me. I couldn't handle it. I did try to read Game of Thrones, but that was also big brain for me, so I couldn't handle it. Another series that I did start was, and I thoroughly enjoyed, was Patrick Rothfuss's The Name of the Wind. I haven't read the second book yet, but I do have it. I'm gonna continue that sometime this year, but I think like the way that, you know what, every time I go into a bookstore and I see this in the corner at the sci-fi and fantasy section, they look so cute. I've never actually tried to dare to pick it up because they just look like they're overwhelming. And you know what? I am thoroughly enjoying this series, to be honest. I'm only in like, I don't know, page 80. I started it last night. But I am thoroughly enjoying this book, and I think that I finally found a fantasy series that I can actually try to finish. Fingers crossed. I don't want to actually jinx myself. But I'm gonna start it this month, and hopefully maybe get through Royal Assassins this month as well, and then get through them throughout the year. But yeah, I am excited. These are so cute. Like, look at that. So if you guys aren't aware about this story, well, basically book 1, we start with the story of Fitz, and he is a bastard child of the king in waiting, basically. And we discover like there's magic systems here, of course, but he has a special magic called the wit, which he can communicate to animals, or be like the animals, or live through an animal. Anyway, that's as far as I know, and we're gonna figure out. He becomes an assassin, and yeah, excited to read this, and The Royal Assassin is the continuation. That's all the books that I've bought this month. I feel guilty because the economy has just, I don't know what's happening to the world right now, and I feel like buying more books in the future just feels like a dead investment. Well, it's not a dead investment because I do enjoy it and I do make videos about it, but again, like I just need to save more because I am going on a holiday to see my family in December. But yeah, I'm gonna tone it down with the book buying. I think I have a few more pre-orders I've made just because like Babel's coming and Stolen Air is coming, and I think I've already ordered like the continuation of Once Upon a Broken Heart and Gilded. But yeah, those are coming. But hopefully, fingers crossed, I can actually save this year because it's just ridiculous the amount of things that the prices have gone up really high. Anyway, enough of my ranting about the economy, We know everything's shit right now. But yes, those are my books, and I hope you enjoy this video. I will not be making another book haul soon. Hopefully not. But yeah, thank you so much, and I'll see you again soon. Thank you so much to everyone who has subscribed to my channel and your support. It just amazes me that I don't know, 60 people watch me. And it's just, anyway, if you're new here and you like this content and you want more, please click the like, subscribe, and I don't know, just whatever button down there, and leave your comment if you're interested in any of the books that I've just showed you guys. But yeah, ooh, and besides a book haul, do you see that? I call her Vanessa. So we saw her in the flower shop. I was like, we need to buy her. She's mine. That's Vanessa. She has ivy for hair, and I love her. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Bye.